Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Ketubot page 42, which discusses a contradiction that was stated regarding Rav Shimon. When it came to a certain financial obligation, does it go to the father or does it go to the daughter? And there seems to be one statement that says it goes to the father, one statement says it goes to the daughter. And this is a difficult question. I know it's a difficult question because the great Rav Yosef and Rabbi themselves, as brilliant as they were, spent 22 years grappling over this question, not knowing the answer. Now, why 22 years until finally the answer was finally given? So the end of Talmud Brachot tells us that Rav Yosef knew that one day he would be a leader, and he was able to learn through certain methods that he was only going to be a leader for about 2 years and then he was going to die. And therefore, because of that, he was more than happy to allow Rabbi to take the position first. And Rabbi was actually the leader for 22 years. And during those 22 years, Rav Yosef also did not know the answer to this question that's found on this page of the Talmud. Eventually, Rav Yosef takes over the position, then almost instantaneously, he's able to come up with the answer to this question. The question is, how was he able to do that? So this Rashi tells us something very, very fascinating. It says the reason why is because he was able, Parkat, to answer this when he became a leader, because V'si'uhu min hashamayim. He had literally help from heaven. Now, what this could potentially mean is that when a person does not have high expectations for themselves, so they're going to probably remain without accomplishing much. But once you put yourself and thrust yourself into a leadership role in which there are high expectations, where people are going to turn to you with their questions and expect that you know answers, all of a sudden doors will open. All of a sudden, the things that you thought you were not capable of doing, all of a sudden you may realize that you have great abilities far above and beyond that which you could ever imagine. And this is an important lesson for ourselves, that just like the great Rav Yosef, he spent 22 years, he could not figure out what is the answer to this question, but as soon as he became a leader, all of a sudden, this light bulb, something happened, and he was able to think and see things in a different way and be able to answer questions in a way that he couldn't have done ever before. So too when it comes to ourselves. Whatever goals and ambition that we may have, we may say, you know what, I can't do it. I know my limitations. And therefore you just don't grow. You don't become who you're capable of becoming. Instead, we need to set high goals for ourselves, even if they seem a bit out of reach. But once you put upon yourself the expectation of trying to reach a particular goal, you keep at it over and over, and you'll realize that you really have so much more within you than you could ever imagine. And just like Rav Yosef, who had this help from heaven to be able to grow and to be able to become the great person because of his new leadership position, so to us, we have the same ability if only we would give that chance to ourselves.